Stephanie, your friendly neighborhood bar manager, Wookie Wrangler, scoundrel, scheduler, you name it, you name the liquor, we sell it here. Want to talk a little bit today about a great big victory for free speech on the internet. The Supreme Court, in the United States Supreme Court, not just any Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, basically said that internet companies do not have Section 230 protections, which means, and the decision was handed down, and Judge Clarence Thomas, who is one of, I think, the finest minds that has ever been on the Supreme Court, basically wrote the decision. So basically, it looks like to me that Twitter can be sued and Facebook can be sued. Gee, I wonder who has the money and the lawyers to do that. I think he was president. Yeah, I think it might be Donald Trump. So you can basically, attack Raylo, attack Lucasfilm, attack woke culture, and they can't do anything about it. They can't do any goddamn thing about it. This is awesome. You guys have no idea. This is a positive step in the right direction. It really, really is. And I am just waiting for the dam to break. There's a lot of people out there who are going, this is just what we've been waiting for. Excuse me. No, I don't have the coof. I'm really, really feeling pretty positive about all this. Anyway, this is going to make it hard for Twitter to allow gangs of bot accounts, Raylos, SJWs to gang up on people that they don't like. This is going to be very difficult for them to deplatform people anymore because there's a threat of being sued. They're going to have to go neutral, which is absolutely no opinion. Okay, they're not allowed to have any opinions about things. And I'll tell you something else. If you look at it in lots of ways, it also protects the American people, because if you go onto Twitter, you'll notice that there are accounts by the Ayatollah of Iran, the president of Iran, who's an absolute freaking nut job. I think the North Korean, the DRPK has a Twitter account that they spew anti-American horseshit out there. And the People's the People's Army of China have a Twitter account that they attack America with. So they're going to have to decide, are they going to let these foreign entities harass, spew fake news, spew lies about Western culture, or are they going to kick them off? See, or they're going to have to leave them there. But they're also going to have to leave counter arguments, like Donald Trump and a lot of other people. This is good. This is really, guys. This is a piece of news I think the American people have needed to hear for a while. We've been under the illusion that our tech overlords could do whatever they wanted. Now we can say, hey, the COVID bullshit is bullshit, and they can't kick you off. They can't shut you down. You can talk about who you support for president, and you can beat Gina Carano, and there's nothing they can do about it. This is, in lots of ways, this is a major blow to cancel culture. A major blow. Okay, we should all be, everybody in the fandom menace, everywhere, should all be going, yeah, So, this is good. I want to talk a little bit. I mean, I know it's too quiet. At least, you know, I would say they'd be smart to do that, to get rid of the fact checkers, because lots of times the fact checkers take things out of context. Now apparently Twitter or YouTube is got they're going after words in Japanese and another language that sounds like a derogatory term, the N word. They're like banning a Japanese word that doesn't have anything. It's literally a Japanese word. It's like you guys gotta stop. There, see, you're gonna find out. We all know this, but SJWs don't understand nuance. They don't understand languages. They don't. They're stupid. I mean, they're fucking stupid. Okay, they don't understand anything. All right. So when you see a word in an Asian language like Japanese being banned because it sounds too much like an English word that is a nasty way of referring to somebody's skin color, it's like, but that's Japanese and it doesn't even mean what. Now they might not be able to do that anymore. See, this changes everything. I'm sure Jack Dorsey is in his walk-in closet cave with about 50 blunts in front of him, naked, cross-legged, trying to meditate on this, trying to get himself out of this shit. I mean, President Trump can sue him now. He can. I would say they need to just welcome him back to Twitter, but he's making his own social media network, and everybody who loves him and everybody who hates him is going to go there. This is a blow to Twitter and Facebook. Okay. Because now it opens up the realm for everybody. Okay. And there are a lot of other platforms out there like Parler. I don't like echo chambers, which is why I haven't left Facebook yet. I have too many friends there. I want to be able to have conversations, and I'm going to be very blunt. A lot of the people at MeWe, at Gab, and at Parler, just I'm not going to say former conservative, but I define that part of my life, who I am as a libertarian. So I am one of them, a flavor of that. However, a lot of people on the right really don't want to talk about anything but ideology and politics. And as somebody who worked on Capitol Hill for the House Majority Leader, Dick Armey, 26th District, Texas, I can't do politics anymore like that 24/7. I used to. I lived in DC. It's not good for you to do that. Okay. It's not. Trust me. When I was 32 years old, I got diagnosed with high blood pressure because of DC. That's how stressful it is. Constantly talking about all this stuff you really can't do anything about. All right? You really, really can't. All you can do is vote, hoard ammo, and that's about it. That's it. I mean, and save your money and hell, I don't know, maybe buy cryptocurrency, but I don't do that. But so this is a big deal, you guys. This is a big deal. This is going to change the way a lot of people do stuff, I think, and we just gotta follow along and see where this goes. But things are starting to look better. And to the people who wonder, like on my Facebook page, everything's dead. Hi, Dave, how you doing? Everything's dead. America. And they're usually conservatives who say shit like that. Or, I'm leaving. If there's a country we could go to, where are you going to go? This is it. This is where knock it off. Okay, this is a major league victory for us. So every time I hear people get negative about something, when I know when I see a victory coming, it's like you are really trying to steal defeat out of the jaws of victory, aren't you? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I am. I'm a little bit hungover from yesterday. I made that Easter dinner, and it was like, oh my God, we ate too much, we drank too much. But the dog got to go out and play cannonball, and then regular ball with Daddy. We've got this ball launcher that it looks like a big gun. You put the ball in the front, and you pull it down, and you pull the trigger, and it launches at like 50 feet. And the cool thing about the ball that came with it is that it lights up. So in the basement at night, or if we're outside playing with him, you can see the lights in it. It's really kind of neat. And so I played with him again today too. He was it's been one of those days, if you know what I mean. It was just one of those very slow, really slow days. But anyway, what else is going? What else? And as far as let's talk about it being too quiet now, since we got the free speech victory number one in the free speech war. It's been really quiet about Star Wars news. You know, last week we had a bunch of old stuff that Doomcock was sitting on. Nothing new coming out since then. But the last video on YouTube that the channel put out there, the Star Wars channel put out, has been ratioed into the ground. Okay, they're still getting nailed in the comments and everything. And it's not so quiet that there isn't anything happening though. They released those 3 titles. I think I talked about it before. I want to say this, that I do think that the EU is going to be relevant again in some capacity. I am hoping against hope that they take that you could actually, the way I look at it is you can take the Skywalker books from the EU and the ones that are separate from the main story, like Tatooine Ghost, Truce at Bakura, and some of the other ones, and you could actually turn them into animated, really good animated shows for Disney Plus easily, and do the kind of animation that they did with what BioWare did with Knights of the Old Republic. Remember those really cool things? I mean, the part where it shows Valen, her story as a child. It's interesting to me. All right, if you're bringing up Kenobi, I think this is a pretty good rumor. All right, let's talk about Kenobi. It was brought back here because they needed to get the filler. They needed to get it filmed. It's only 6 episodes. It's being directed by an acolyte of Jon Favreau's, Deborah Chow, who's also in an episode of Mandalorian season 1. It is going to be probably a pretty good show. Do you guys, let's step back into time, get into your time machine, and drive back, way, way back, when it was rumored that people in Ireland, when they were thinking about starting to ramp up filming Kenobi, saw George Lucas walking around scouting locations. Pretty sure George has something to do with this. And I'm pretty sure Part of the reason why they brought it back to Los Angeles is it's cheaper to film. Andor, they probably brought it back to Los Angeles because Andor is actually filming in the place they were gonna film Kenobi. Because the area where Jon Favreau has filmed a lot of The Mandalorian. They're filmed a lot of The Mandalorian out in the desert by Los Angeles, and that's where they're filming this. So it's a good stand-in for Tatooine without it being Tunisia. If you guys remember, if you guys, there any non-Star Wars successes? The movies that have been really doing good right now at the box office, like Godzilla versus Kong, are Warner Brothers. They're not. I mean, you know, the last couple of movies that Disney put out there haven't done well at all. What was that? The one against Tom and Jerry, and Tom and Jerry just squashed it. I don't. Disney needs to quit screwing around. But I think the reason why they brought Kenobi back is because they needed a place that looked like Tatooine. My theory is he never leaves Tatooine. My theory is the only time you see him clashing with Vader is in a vision or a dream, not in any sort of capacity that is in the realm of what we consider the real world. Think about Star Wars. It brought the metaphysical world up close and personal lots of times. And we're going to get a little more of that. And I think they may even show more about the midichlorians and even the wills. I also have a prediction for Indira Varma. She's playing a one of the Sith. Oh God, Jedi hunters. What are they called? I can't remember. So I think that she's going to be a bad guy in it. It's going to be very interesting, but we're probably going to see a young Luke, because Owen and Beru are in it. The ones from the prequels. We're probably going to see the Inquisitors. Yeah, the Inquisitors. We're probably going to see Jabba. Yep, you got it. Thanks, hard work. We're probably going to see different Cantina entities that we remember, maybe Greedo. Oh yeah, Inquisitor, Greedo, but a lot of stuff from Tatooine. I don't think he leaves. I think it's going to be more about him, Obi-Wan surviving the Tusken Raiders, maybe surviving Jabba's, because you remember Jabba was on Tatooine for decades. I mean, you remember the pod race, he was the one that sponsored the pod race that Anakin won. So you've got that. So we're going to probably be visited by a lot of old friends. And you can do that with this stuff and not be heavy-handed. The problem, one of the many thousands of problems I have with TFA is the fan service was just so heavy-handed. It wasn't organic. Like when Boba Fett shows up in season 1, saving Fennec Shand, we knew it was Boba, but we didn't need to see it, and it wasn't heavy-handed. Here's Boba. It was, it was natural. So when he shows up, hey John 42, when he shows up, like he did in season 2, it made sense. We knew he was following him. We knew that he wanted his armor back. So, yeah, and having Shand come back makes sense too. I and I think this is how they're going to map out how they go around and ignore the sequels. I think we'll get flashbacks of a lot of things, and I do think Liam Neeson will come back as a Force Ghost, as Qui-Gon. They're gonna have to de-age him a little bit, because he doesn't look like he did in 1997 or 98 when Clone Wars or when Phantom Menace came out. But yeah, I mean, all this stuff with the EU, the new shows, the fact that you're seeing other EU characters show up, even a bounty hunter from the EU has shown up in a Dr. Aphra comic. I thought they had canceled her. Anyway, so it's all going to be very interesting. I'm optimistic right now. But as far as it being quiet, I don't, as far as I can tell, just my gut feeling with all these new announcements that don't really have anything to do with what Kennedy has been doing. I really honestly gotta say that I think it's probably Kennedy leaving. I really think she's done. And my opinion, I've been wrong before, but when I see the stuff that's going on right now, it's if she had really any power over publishing, they wouldn't touch the EU. She hated the EU. She can't stand the EU. And I am going to go over eventually, if I can get a hold of that book, the one that, the interview with George Lucas about his ideas for the, God, I can't even think right now, for the sequel trilogy, his own ideas. I think it's going to be very interesting when people realize what he wanted to do. Oh yeah, it's a positive sign. It really is. I think, to be honest, I think we're going to see the twins. And I think you could do a kind of, and avoid Disney's disaster in the first place and just put it off in its own little universe so the Reylos can beat off together to Kyle Ron and leave the rest of us alone. I really think that they're going to bring the twins back and do a flavor of Lucas's sequel trilogy, but not quite the same thing. You may get Akira, but I think what you're going to end up having, because Jaina and Jason Solo were so popular, I think you're going to have them show up. And I think you're going to have them show up. I think you're going to have Anakin Solo show up. You're going to have Mara Jade. Maybe, yes, Reylos are weird. Maybe Ben Skywalker. If they go that way with Luke, even though it doesn't look to me, from what Star Wars Theory said, they have to, Dave. If they don't, I would sue them into the next county. From what Star Wars Theory said, he thought there might be a chance for Luke to have a relationship. But when he read and explained what George was thinking, I didn't see it that way. You can have a Mara Jade. I think she's a good character in of herself. Okay, so we may see her. And if, but when you find out just what they wanted, what George wanted to do with Leia, it is literally unbelievable. she was going to be the chancellor of the New Republic. And she was going to basically be leading the New Republic. So we have a devoted wife, mother, Jedi, and chancellor. Wow. That's not a strong whammon. It ain't no strong whammon. You know. Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, we would have. And the thing about it is, the thing about it, when George talked about this stuff, he would outline these things vaguely. It's not a theory. Doomcock and, I mean, Clownfish TV, their guys, Midnight Side just brought this up. It's not a theory. I think they're doing it. Everybody with everybody with some inside source, my own, said the same thing, that they're going to decanonize or set the ST in an alternate reality, and then never visit it again. Now, why would they do that? I've talked about the business side of this before, but let me reiterate: they're not making any money with the sequel trilogy as it is. Rey sucks. Kyle Ron is a buffoon and a clown. Finn is a token. Rose is a token. Vice Admiral Gender Studies. What a on and on and on and on. We have drunk deadbeat dad Han Solo, homeless hobo Luke, and Hillary Rodham Leia Organa. You see the problems here. Okay. No one liked it. It took me a year to admit that the sequel trilogy, that TFA sucked. And it did suck. It was terrible. I mean, they could have fixed it. They could have saved it if Rian Johnson had a brain. But when we should have taken a hint, when he was running around with Steele Saunders little stickers, your Snoke theory sucks, that we were going to have a problem. If Snoke could have been Darth Plagueis and Rey would have been, I mean, first off, we talked about this before. Maze and I talked about this before. First big mistake. Maybe, I don't know. First big mistake. Yeah, we'll get to that one, Rob. Why don't we know who Rey is? Why is that such a big MacGuffin? Because J.J. Abrams doesn't know how to write anything that doesn't have to do with an empty mystery box. Ends up being Rey is nothing more than one of his empty mystery boxes. Okay. It made people talk about it. Well, Shellback, you could do these in digitalized animation. You could do them, if you look at the animation that BioWare did for their trailers for Knights of the Old Republic. Why? Why would you have to go without Leia? You don't have to. If you needed someone to do Han Solo's voice, and Ford wouldn't want to, even though I think that they were given an opportunity to make a better story. I think every one of those actors would come back and do it. I do. And the reason is they want to do it right. And the last two movies disgraced everything there. All three of those movies disgraced their characters, disgraced them, disgraced Luke George. Okay. What I would do is I would take, now let me go back to what I was talking about before. George would have an outline. Empire Strikes Back had an outline. And in the first outline, he has Vader choke out Han. Okay. Not cool. Decides, no. I mean, I think Larry Kasdan put that in there because Larry Kasdan wants to be God. Han Solo is my favorite character. Let's kill him. Shut up, Larry. And he said, no. We're going to do something different. Then you've got Return of the Jedi, which had a vague outline. And then they had to go in there and fashion the script. And what we got in the script and in the movie didn't exactly look like what he had in mind at first when he first started talking about plotting it out. Okay. In fact, I think I've heard at this time he actually had a better idea what the prequel trilogy was going to look like than the end of the OT. You know, a lot of people complain about Death Star 2. They had to figure out a way to put the Emperor's throne room in there somewhere. And I think it actually works out better. But see, you can do something similar to what George wanted to without following it perfectly. Well, it's going to be a paperback, so it'll be affordable. I am going to look around to get the paperback of the Paul Duncan book because I want to read for myself what George said to Duncan. I would love to get the coffee table book. It's gorgeous. I mean, that thing is magnificent. I've got all of Rinsler's books, the making of the OT stuff, and then the Indiana Jones one. You know, it's. I think it's going to be affordable. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a collector's item. It's going to be affordable, and I'm definitely getting it. So you could actually do a mixture of the EU with George's ideas, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It'll still be affordable. You can afford $20. It's not going to be any more than $20. So I think it's going to be, I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they intend to do. Because I want to remind you guys, you know, people needed to be hit over the head with this, and you still missed it. What was the title of the last episode of Mandalorian? What was it? And when you hear that word, what does it denote? What does that remind you of? What does that make you think of? It's called The Rescue. Yeah, The Rescue. Vader fanatic, you got it. It was a bat signal. It's a bat. That title is a bat signal to the fans. The name Grogu is George Lucas. I mean, George Lucas. That's where the name came from. It's obvious to me now. Maybe I'm jumping at straws, but I find it very difficult that the name Grogu just popped up in somebody's head when it very much has letters and built set up the same way as George Lucas. Grogu. It's the rescue of it's John and Dave saying, "We've got this. Here's Luke. We're gonna take care of that." And you know, like the guys at Black and White Entertainment, they were. Larry Rhodes is going. He thinks we're gonna see Han and Chewie and Boba Fett. I hope we do. All right. If you guys ever want to see somebody cry, and they do that, I'll cry. I'll be bawling my eyes out, because then I'll get my Skywalker moment. Because you guys know how I feel about Han Solo. That'd just be awesome. And what about Leia? Throw her in there. You know, I came up with a whole scenario that they could try for that. And this is all just going to be we're just going to have to wait and see. But when I think about the name of the last episode of this season of Mando, oh yeah, watch party at Steph's. Wait till we get the media room done. A lot of cool stuff in there. It really, the rescue. You see Luke show up, and I knew it was going to be Luke. Ask Mazarius. I called it. I called it out right away. I said they're going to bring in Luke. Luke will be the Jedi that comes looking for him. Now you got to remember, in the EU, Luke was wandering around the galaxy looking for Jedi. Okay, all right. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. Okay. The rescue. He rescues. Luke rescues. The boarding party. He basically rescues the Alliance or the Republic because, and here's something else people miss. When he approaches the bridge, and everyone's like dodging, what's his face trying to shoot at him. And they see him coming in the camera. And I'm an ass. How you doing, man? I'm an ass is in the house. Yo, dude. All of a sudden, Gideon takes a blaster, puts it up to his chin. Cara Dune elbows him in the chin and knocks him out. Why would he do that? He was trying to kill himself. Why would he do that? Why? I know why. He knew who it was. He knew the moment he saw that single X-Wing, it was Luke Skywalker. It was Red 5. He knew it was him. What would prompt Gideon to pull a kamikaze, a General Saito? I know what. He didn't want anybody to know what they were working on. Okay. And it leads to another idea when you look at the Ahsoka poster that he wasn't just scared. He has secrets to keep. He has secrets to keep. You don't kill yourself if you're just being arrested. Okay. This is my military history coming back. Okay. When Rudy and I were in Korea, we went to Saipan for Thanksgiving. There's quite the kind of a nice little resort there, but the island is just sad. It's a real kind of a sad place, and the reason why is because World War II and World War II's ghosts are abundant there. And there's a massive caves that have turned into a tourist attraction where the Japanese who were defending the island went to, and their General Saito, killed himself. Why would he do that? Well, he committed war crimes. It was the honorable thing to do. That's what they do. Why would... There were two Nazis actually at Nuremberg who committed suicide. One was, I don't think it was Kaltenbrunner. One was one of the suits that just signed papers to send trains east, which meant you're going to die. And the other, of course, was Hermann Goering, who bit into the cyanide capsule the night, like an hour before they were going to take all the condemned men to the gallows. There's lots of reasons why people like that do that. It's to hide secrets. It's so they can't talk. Dead men tell no. No, not Himmler. No, Himmler too, though. Think about it. Good, that was a good one. Now I think about it. Dead men tell no secrets. Okay? That's why he did that. He did that to protect something. Now, let's say, like, you got Ahsoka and Luke. They go back to Lothal. They find the portal into the world between worlds. And they stop the Emperor from going into one of his mirror rooms. It's over. The sequel trilogy no longer exists. If they don't go back and do it, that timeline's still lit. The timeline is still the main timeline. If they do it this way, then that timeline is separate. That's the what if. Okay. I think what we're going to get is what will be. Okay. And, the people who like the sequel trilogy, the very few of them, will have their sequel trilogy. It just won't be canon. And a lot of people are like, well, they spent a lot of money on those movies. Yeah, they lost a lot more. Yeah, I think it was Robert Lay. I think you're right. I think he was the one who killed himself in prison at Nuremberg. They found him dead. He I don't know how he did it, but he hung himself on the toilet. You know, there's I think it's still on YouTube. It's called Hermann Goering's Last Stand. It was on the History Channel. Hopefully it's still on YouTube, but watch it. It's really good. It's really, really good. And I think the script could be adapted for the big screen and you would have a major hit. It would be Oscar bait. It would really, really be Oscar bait. But anyway, moving right along. So, yeah, it's been quiet, but this news came out. These books. We've got a cast for Obi-Wan. We've got Andor filming where Obi-Wan was going to film, and then we got Obi-Wan filming where Mandalorian 3 is being filmed. I'm going to say this. I don't think Mandalorian 3 had anything affecting it had anything to do with Kennedy. Okay, except for firing Gina. And I am making a prediction. Kennedy leaves, Gina comes back. All right. The money would be there. She likes the cast likes her. The fans love her. And the SJWs are gone. Okay. Again, then this can go back to Twitter and free speech and the Supreme Court ruling today. No longer are people like her going to be subject to mass reporting and any of the rest of that stuff. They can't do that anymore. Yep, Nuremberg, Goering's Last Stand. It is a fabulous show. I suggest you watch it. And the reason why is when you watch Moff Gideon in those last instances, you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, dead men tell no secrets. And at the end of Mando, people never bring this up, but I'm going to bring this up. They have Grogu. They have the tissue that was stolen from him. They've got Moff Gideon and all of the research, and they've got the doctor. You think maybe the jig might be up for cloning Palpatine. I think it might be. And I also do believe that the rumors of them looking for an actress, that there was an actress seen being fitted for a red and black costume with Leku and Sith tattoos. I think that's we're probably going to get Darth Talon. And if we get Darth Talon, no more Kylo Ren, no more Snoke, no more clone Palpatine, any of it. And it'll be great. It'll be great. There's good things coming, guys. There is. But anyway, I want to talk about all that stuff, and the the ruling today just made me happy. I can't tell you how frustrating it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. I can't tell you how happy I am over this ruling. And it was a unanimous decision. So we can sit there and complain about the lefties on the court, but they did come to bat for the Constitution. Okay, things that make us different from everybody else is our natural right of free speech. No one has any right to tell any American, anybody. It doesn't matter where they're from, to what they can and can't say. So the COVID stuff, QAnon, no matter how stupid it is, Alex Jones, you know, Milo Yiannopoulos, Steven Crowder, all these people who have been getting shit on, now have a leg to stand on. Now they can say, you can't deplatform me, you're not protected. And it's going to be very interesting from here on out to see where this goes. But I feel pretty positive right now about a lot of things. So, we just got to keep on keeping on, guys. And it's going to be awesome, going into all this, going into the year deeper. I still think that Kennedy is out sooner rather than later. Maybe by Star Wars Celebration. Maybe she's worn out her welcome. And I do think that go and look at the Star Wars channel here on YouTube. They're getting the crap ratioed out of them. The comments are all aghast at Kennedy and firing Gina. This isn't going away. And it won't go away till Kennedy's gone and Gina is apologized to publicly and brought back. I think everybody would be very happy then. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta go. Hubby came home and I gotta see what he wants for dinner. And I gotta clean up the kitchen a little bit. It's kind of still, there's still some things I gotta put away from yesterday's Easter supper. So talk to y'all later. Y'all be good. See you around the galaxy, and keep your ears to the ground if you're in California. And if you are a Lucasfilm employee, janisek.sm68@gmail.com. Email me. I want to talk to you. And if you are somebody who's concerned about what's going on and you want to help and you want to be a whistleblower, get a hold of James O'Keefe at Project Veritas. Do it. They'd be more than willing to talk to you and to help you out. I'll see you.